My name is Ignacio Aranda, and we are discussing Druid Hills.
Can you just describe it for me?
Well, it's a lot of the homes they have like a 1960s base theme to them, almost kind of retro-y. Gigantic roofs. A lot of the stories, I remember when we were first moving into the area, my mother was first moving into the area, a lot of one-story houses, but gigantic roofs. Lots of trees. A lot of the houses are very close by to each other. You can almost hear what your neighbor is doing on account of how close the houses are. Very uphill. A lot of different parts of it. Big alleys, very inclined planes, nothing really flat.
What are the boundaries of it? Like, where does it fall in the city, kind of?
So it's pretty much the tail end of Oak Cliff. A lot of people debate whether it is in Oak Cliff. Technically, it's like the last block of the 75224 area code, which is the tail end of Oak Cliff.
Okay.
It's a lot of people associate Oak Cliff, geographically speaking, as before Keast Park ends. I guess within the community, I've always had the phrase my neighborhood as being on the other side of Keast Park.
Okay.
And that's usually how people relate to it. Anything beyond the end of Keast Park going south, a lot of people debate whether it's technically Oak Cliff. It's really on the outskirts of it, but technically is.
What are some neighborhood landmarks? Like, what do people do around there? What's around there?
Not too much. There's I guess St. Elizabeth Church is right by there, so it's a nice little church that most of the people in the neighborhood go to. Mm-hmm. Very communal. But beyond that, not too much. There isn't a park. There's a creek. There's a slight little area, I guess, that encourages people to kind of go around the creek. They just actually built a bike route down Rugged. So there's that recreational aspect of it. There's a bike route leading to Keast Park.
What do you think the biggest strengths of that neighborhood is?
It's very quiet. It's a lot of what's the word I want to use? A lot of developed individuals. Not too much youth. I want to say the majority of people in my neighborhood specifically are over the age of 45. It's very quiet. Everyone, while there's a communal sense to it, everyone pretty much keeps to themselves. It's quiet.
Do you see that as a positive or a negative?
I personally see it as a positive. I think there's a sense of privacy that people want from their homes. It's kind of what a home is your own private space, and I feel like it executes that aspect of it pretty well. I personally am a fan of the older kind of retro-y 60s based architecture of a lot of the houses there, but that's personal preference.
What does it look like? What do you mean?
So you have inside, like in my house, you'll have just like these wood walls, big high ceilings, big high ceilings in one specific room. A lot of the houses have some sort of big part. A lot of the houses have some sort of section either on the left or right hand side of the house that has like a built-in like grill or built-in smoker or barbecue, kind of like a courtyard.
Oh.
And you don't really see too many houses with that anymore. Like, there's a gas line in my house that goes straight to a brick smoker, like a brick oven in the backyard. And my house isn't the only one that's like that. There are plenty of houses down the street where the house is not necessarily symmetrical. There's one specific part that's kind of indented a little bit more, and then there's like a courtyard with a built-in like brick smoker, brick grill.
If you could change one thing about your neighborhood to make it better, what would you change, if anything?
I don't know. Like most neighborhoods, streets are kind of narrow. It almost seems a little congested. I don't think it's feasible for them to make more space in between the houses, but I definitely feel the streets are a little congested. Mm-hmm. Lots of trees, and while it's nice, I think it does act as a bit of a hazard in terms of like inclement weather. So this sounds almost. I don't know. It's just less trees.
Fewer trees.
Fewer trees.
Okay.
Fewer trees. Yeah, fewer trees. There is an abundance of trees.
Anything else about your neighborhood that you'd want people in Dallas to know about it?
I definitely think it's a pocket in Oak Cliff, and it's a little pocket in Dallas that's different from the rest of it, be it in just atmosphere, architecture. I think the big separating factor, the big distinguishing factor is that creek. There's like little islands within Oak Cliff almost, because the creek just kind of separates these little
Which
pockets.
creek is that?
5 Mile Creek.
Cool. So anything else?
I've lived there for 17 years. It's been a good neighborhood for me. I like it. I feel a lot of people in the Dallas area that I've had come over like it. It's likable. It's a likable neighborhood.